High in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado, where the peaks touched the sky and snow blanketed everything in a deafening silence, a family had ventured into the wild for a much-needed winter getaway. The Crawfords, Adam, his wife Megan, their teenage daughter Lily, and their 5-year-old golden retriever Max, had rented a remote cabin near Telluride for the holidays. They'd wanted isolation, peace, and a break from the constant buzz of city life in Denver. What they didn't expect was that this trip would nearly cost them everything. On the morning of December 26th, the sun rose late behind thick clouds, casting a dim silver glow across the snow-covered slopes. The cabin, a beautiful hand-built structure with a steep roof and a wraparound porch, sat nestled against a tree-covered hillside. Adam had stacked firewood the day before, Megan had made pancakes, and Lily was playing with Max in the snow. The dog bounded happily through the powder, tongue out, his golden coat like a beacon against the white. Max had always been more than just a pet. He was loyal in a way only dogs can be. Always watching, always alert. He had a keen sensitivity to things humans overlooked. A shift in tone, a faint noise in the distance, a change in pressure. Adam often joked that Max would have made a better security system than any alarm company. The first sign of trouble came just before noon. The temperature had risen slightly, enough to cause patches of snow on the mountainside to loosen. Adam, standing on the porch with a mug of coffee, noticed it first, a low rumble, almost like distant thunder, but the skies above remained unchanged. He turned to look up at the mountains. "Do you hear that?" he asked. Megan stepped outside beside him. Probably a snowplow, or a jet. Max, standing on the porch beside them, suddenly froze. His ears perked up, his eyes fixed on the mountain. Then, without warning, he let out a long, low growl. "What is it, boy?" Lily called from the other side of the cabin. She had just finished building a snow fort, and her cheeks were red from the cold. Max barked twice, loud and sharp, and bolted toward her. Adam's blood ran cold. The rumble was louder now. A series of deep, cracking booms followed it, and he looked up just in time to see a massive sheet of snow break free from the ridge high above. A white wall, wide, fast, and merciless, was tumbling down the mountain. "Avalanche!" he shouted. Time slowed. Snow tore down the mountain like a tidal wave, crashing through trees, breaking branches, and consuming everything in its path. Adam sprinted toward Lily, screaming her name, as Megan stumbled back into the cabin to grab the emergency radio. Max reached Lily first. The dog lunged at her, teeth grabbing the sleeve of her coat, dragging her toward the trees. Lily screamed in confusion, resisting at first, until she saw it. The sheer terror in her father's face. The roar growing louder by the second. The wall of snow barreling toward them like a freight train. They had seconds. Adam tackled his daughter, just as Max pulled them both behind a thick outcrop of pines. He wrapped his arms around her and braced for impact. The noise was deafening, 1,000 drums beating at once. Snow exploded around them. Trees snapped. The porch was crushed. Windows shattered. The cabin groaned under the weight. And then, everything went white. For what felt like forever, there was silence. Then coughing. Movement. Pain. Adam opened his eyes. Snow was everywhere, in his mouth, in his ears, packed around his legs like cement. He could hear Lily sobbing softly against his chest. He reached out, touched her face. She was alive. "Lily," he whispered, voice hoarse. "Are you okay?" She nodded through tears. Max was gone. Adam looked around frantically, trying to call out, but his voice barely carried. They were buried under several feet of snow, shielded only by the trees and the angle of the slope. He tried to move, but couldn't. His legs were pinned. The cold was seeping into his bones. He needed help. He needed Max. Then, suddenly, scratching, from somewhere beneath the snow, just above his shoulder. He heard it. Then, more clearly, barking. It was Max. Adam could hardly believe it. The dog had survived, and now he was digging, desperately, scratching through ice and snow to reach them. Light appeared through a gap above, then a nose, then two frantic brown eyes. Max had found them. The dog barked again, louder this time, alerting anyone who might be nearby. Adam reached up, his fingers brushing Max's face. "Good boy," he whispered. Back in the partially destroyed cabin, Megan had survived the initial wave. She had thrown herself under the heavy oak dining table. Her legs were bruised, and a deep cut on her forehead was bleeding. But she was alive. Disoriented and shivering, she crawled to the radio, hoping against hope it still worked. Static filled the cabin as she turned the knob. Then a voice. "This is Colorado Mountain Rescue. Repeat, this is CMR. Over." Megan burst into tears. "Help. My husband and daughter are buried in the snow. We were hit by an avalanche near Ridgewood Trail, just past mile marker 17. Please send help. I think our dog is trying to dig them out." The response was quick. "We're dispatching a chopper and 2 teams now. Hold tight. We're coming." Meanwhile, Max continued to dig, even as his paws bled, even as the cold stung his lungs. He didn't stop. He couldn't. His family was down there, and he was their only hope. An hour passed. The rescue team was close. Max's barking led them straight to the site. When they found him, standing atop a mound of disturbed snow, growling and howling into the storm, they knew exactly where to dig. 2 men with shovels and thermal gear started the work. Within minutes, they uncovered Adam's hand, then his face, then Lily's, both alive. It took another half hour to get them out fully, to warm them with emergency blankets, to medevac them from the mountainside. But they had survived. And Max was hailed a hero. Photos of the golden retriever were shared across the country. News outlets interviewed the family from their hospital room. Adam, with his leg in a cast and Lily curled up beside him, recounted every terrifying second. He didn't hesitate. Adam said, "He saved us. He saved our daughter. He saved our family." Megan held Max's face in her hands. "We always knew he was special, but now the world knows it too." The Colorado Humane Society awarded Max the State Hero Dog Medal. He was featured on morning shows and pet magazines. But none of that mattered to Max. What mattered was that he was home, that the people he loved were safe, that, once again, he could rest, curled up beside the fireplace, head on Lily's lap, tail thumping gently against the floor. Outside, the snow continued to fall, but inside there was warmth, and gratitude, and life, and the silent presence of a dog who had done something extraordinary, not for fame, not for reward, but for love. Because sometimes, heroes have 4 legs and fur.